For Boeing and the Minister for Sports and Recreation. Honorable Kofi Adams, welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for inviting me. It's been long that I appeared in this studio where you need to prepare very well when you are coming, because all manner of questions will be thrown at you.
We're asking what the recreation aspect of your portfolio even means. We're not sure. And somebody said we should call it enjoyment. That's what Sky is proposing.
Well,
what you think.
Well, the person is not far from right when he says it's enjoyment. Yeah. Okay. The truth is that sports is usually competitive. So elite and competitive. So the recreation component is any sport that is performed for purposes of entertainment and the enjoyment of it, not necessarily for the competitive nature of it. So even football, that is competitive sport, can also be done as a recreational sport. So you're not really doing it because you set some price, trying to promote it to the elite level. So that is the recreational component. And many other lesser sports, like even the ampes, the hide and seek, Owari, Ludo, all those ones that we do for just the enjoyment of it. So the person is not far.
Well, you have put yourself in trouble, because based on what you said, the City Business Olympics is happening the last Saturday of September, and it's recreational sports. Companies are coming to have fun. You have to be there, since you are the Minister for Sports and Recreation. The Business Olympics is
Minister for Happiness.
So on the 27th of September, Eden Heights, you have to be there to come and do something, because people are doing jaskele, they are doing five-a-side football, they are doing, it's not highly competitive, but they are trophies, but it's enjoyment. So you are invited.
Thank you. I'll come and do jaskele. I used to enjoy it.
You're good at it?
I'm good at it. Those times we used to use this corn hub.
Yes.
So you hold it and stand at a distance.
Yeah.
You put a basket or a car tie, and then you throw.
It.
Won't be touch you if yours doesn't enter.
They will send
you.
We used to use milk tins.
Yes.
Milk tins. Yeah. By the way, when were you officially sworn in as Minister for Sports?
7th February.
Oh, that's quite early. 7th February.
Yes.
Okay. So
I've done roughly about some nine months. 9 months and a few days.
How was it? Okay. What did you set? Okay, let me start. What did the president tell you? He's giving you the job. What was his charge to you?
Well, the president said, I asked why me. He said, well, I know you very well. I know that you have an ear, a listening ear, and you're going into a sector where you must listen, but you must act. You need to be doing about 3 things at the same time: listening, you're reasoning, and acting. You don't just act, or you don't just think alone. You must also think along with others. So you must combine all these faculties, and it is my belief that you would be able to do this and bring out the best.
And what is your own assessment of the sector, having taken over and done your tour across the country? What is your assessment of the sector?
Well, it's a very promising sector. If handled and done well, it will be a huge lifting for our country. And you can see it around the world that many the space have chosen to invest heavily in sport, because they know it will do what many other things have not been able to do for them. So you go to countries like Morocco today, are sitting at higher tables because of the investment they've made in sport. It's becoming a sports hub for Africa. South Africa, of course, benefit from it majorly. You would go to the Emirates now. They are investing heavily in sports, because one thing about sports is that you are dealing with talent. And insofar as we continue to procreate, we continue to give birth, it means that we will continue to have people who come out with various talents. And so investing in sports is not wrong at all. It is something that will continue. It's one sector that have seen consistent growth. Consistent growth is now ranked over $800 billion globally and is inching $1 trillion very soon. And so it's an area that when you put in and put it, you may not get the return almost immediately, but it takes off a lot of stress, a lot of pressure of government and of the population. So sports can be found in everywhere. In the fight against galamsey, you will find sports in there. Rule of law, you will find sports in there. If you are trying to campaign for discipline, you will find sports in there. If you want to talk about peaceful coexistence, you will find sports in there. Religious tolerance, you will find sports in there. Economic advancement, you will find sports in there. Tourism, you will find sports in there. So everything have sports in there.
So sports cuts across and sports requires investment. So can I take it that one of your priorities would be raising investment and sponsorship for disciplines? Is that one of your key?
It's one, because you can't do without sponsorship. You can't do without fans, and so it's one of the key things. And that is why over the period we have spoken about funding sports, the need to have sports fund and what have you. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama gave his approval through cabinet for the establishment of a sports fund. So as we speak now, the bill is almost ready. So the next time Parliament will return, that bill will be presented to Parliament for it to be passed into law. So we can have a sports fund where individuals and through other means will all be able to contribute into it to be able to take care of our sports and sports development.
Now, to attract the right investment into any discipline, you need a number of things. I'll give you two. You need predictable policy. You need strong governance. You need the disciplines to be profitable. All right. And then you also need accountability.
Sure.
So let's take, for example, Ghana football.
Yeah.
The league struggles to get patronage.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to be run as a proper business. Yeah. Compare that to English Premier League. Millions of dollars in television. The stadiums are always full. Even with our recent Ghana Black Stars match, we are not even sure if people paid and there was accountability. So you can't say you are attracting investment if you don't have proper governance and if the disciplines are not well managed. So my question is, what is your assessment of the management of the disciplines? Let's start with football, which is the common one.
Well, I must say that in Ghana, football happens to be the most organized of all the federations, the known federations. Maybe because of a certain, from the IF, International Federation level, how well structured it's being. So it's impacted on the national federations. In our case here, we'll call it the GFA, Ghana Football Association. So it seems the most organized. GOC, which is the general umbrella body of all these federations, especially for those that partake in the Olympics and what have you, is equally also organized to some extent. However, the individual other federations, the governance structure, I must say, is poor. For some of them, you can have an instance where the leader or the chair or the president is the man, the daughter is the treasurer, the wife may be the vice. So it's more like a family thing. In others, it's just a collection of some friends who cannot really attract much. So one of the first things we decided to do as a ministry was to assemble all these federations and have an engagement with them to let them know that, look, your governance structure is key. That is what will engender trust and confidence in people to want to put their money into whatever it is that you are doing. So be transparent, have a clear governance structure, have a clear indication of how you even elect your leaders, because that will also tell.
So this is for all the federations?
For all the federations, yes. Then we also have put in place a structured system to have them categorized. Because what we have come to realize is that for some of them, they only exist to surf the sites and to hear that, oh, there's some competition happening somewhere.
Then they go and
Then they try to source invitation, and then
They want to travel.
They want to travel. So they want to travel. Then they step out there and get people on. Oh, they label people as athletes, some of whom are not even, just because they want to secure visas for them. Because we are a travel happy nation also. People want to travel, and so they will be willing to pay anything to anybody. So
you are insisting on proper structures for the federations, proper governance. Now let me keep you there. Even with football that you say is the most organized, I think a lot of people will be very disappointed in the way the football is managed in Ghana. So take for example the league, empty stadia, fan violence, poor officiating, poor quality football, atrocious pitches, low sponsorship. So even the most organized of the federations, the league, which is the business unit for assessing how well that sector is doing, it's in a very terrible state. So I'm not even sure where we are.
You are 100% right. So that was my next stage that I was coming to.
Okay.
That the most organized, the most elaborate sports or the federation itself has serious challenges, and empty stadia, as you have indicated. Fan violence, yes, fan violence is not only limited to Ghana, but then we feel that we could do a little more to check some of these situations. Poor pitches, poor playing pitches. I have had cause sometimes to speak in a manner that some club owners have not been happy, but I was rather trying to help them because I was wondering whether they are aware that football is big business and that they can actually also run it well in such a way that they will profit more from their investment than just waiting for how much maybe the FA will give them at the start of the season or along the line in terms of sponsorship support. But they on their own, if well structured, can attract a lot of investment and a lot of support. And when you call on them to do what is right, they feel like you've been too hard on them. But I'm doing so because I see a bigger opportunity for them. I see a bigger space that they haven't really occupied. The federation may say, the association leadership may say, well, we are trying to do our best, but it doesn't rest with us alone. It rests with a lot more other persons, whether they are participating at Division 3, Division 2, Division 1, or club owners who may not even be part of the leadership of the federation. So the federation leadership has their responsibility, no doubt about that, to be transparent, to be open, to be accountable, to make sure that they work according to the rules of the federations, both international and also the national level rules that govern them, and consider also the national constitution of their individual nation. In this case, the Ghana's constitution is supreme. It must guide the various federations. It's not only your federation constitution. The national constitution is key, is paramount. That must guide how you also do your work. So the federation leadership have their responsibility. Club owners, fans, and all of us equally also have our responsibility.
Minister, so far so good. But there's a view that you are not sending the right signal in the way you relate to the FA, because a lot of people see the FA as emblematic of this mismanagement of football, and in a number of ways. So they sent a budget for the Black Stars, for example. You cancelled a few things, but largely you agreed with the proposals. Okay, people feel like you are cozying up to the FA boss, who some people think is part of the problem. And so if you say the association and the federations must be properly run, a lot of football fans at least from what I listen to on air, they don't seem very happy with the FA. And you seem okay with them. So that's one of the problems people have with you. So I want you to explain your relationship with the FA in view of what you're saying about how the federations need to run. Some people think that you probably ought to be more aggressive with them and intolerant of them than you seem to be.
Well, Bernard, I don't begrudge those with that school of thought. But as a leader, you have options. So you choose an option that will best work and suit the environment that you find yourselves in. You can choose to be very hard as they want it. Have we tried that in the past? Maybe we have tried it. What has been the result? We are still where we are, if not worse. So can we combine the two and see what that will do? I'm trying to combine the two, because these individuals that you have problems with may have some strengths. I don't think that it's all negative. It can be all negative. So they have something good in them, and they have something that we all feel, including me, myself, sitting here, feel that this is not right. Maybe you want to deal with them and possibly even leading to you pushing them out. The next set that you bring would not also have 100% good. So they may come and be able to now deal with the bad of those that you have gotten out and become bad in the good of those you have gotten out. So is it possible for us to sit? And I summarize it this way, that I see problems, but I don't see first people as a problem. I see problems to be solved, issues to be dealt with, challenges to be dealt with. But I don't first start seeing people as the problem.
You don't want to personalize.
I don't want to personalize the issues. I don't want to personalize
but what if
challenges.
What if the people are the ones behind the problem?
Well, so that is why I say first, when you enter into a space, you must not personalize the problems. You must not personalize the challenges until it is proven to you that with what you have initiated, then the people are the problem. So at that stage, if you go after the people, you have every justifiable reason to do so. So you don't just enter a space.
So have you made any proposal to the FA and the Ketukraku to make any changes in the way they run the association, failing which you will take your next action?
Oh, we have engaged a lot. Of course, that's why people say we have a cozy... they
say you are cozying up to him too much.
Well...
You are too comfortable with him. They are not happy with that.
Kurt is the president of what?
The
Ghana
FA.
Football Association.
Yes.
Ghana has national teams
Yeah.
that we have given to the FA to run for us.
Yeah.
So you can't have the group you have given your national teams to run and always be in confrontation with the head of the group you have given your national teams to run. Then you will not be able to sit around the table to even have a conversation.
Fair enough.
So you must have that relationship. But the relationship is not about maybe if something is wrong, don't say it. That's not Kofi Adams. I will have that relationship with you, but if something is wrong and I have to do it, I will do it. And it is better that way, to have that type of relationship where you can engage and to be able to get things corrected until such time. Because whatever it is, the FA goes through election cycle. I don't appoint the leadership of FA. So all I could do is to wait for their next elections cycle.
Let me ask a last question on this before Godfrey comes into the second round. Do you think you have handled the issue of the Black Stars budget well enough? There are a number of complaints. There are two main complaints.
Yes.
Some people think that you only cut out three main items. They felt that the budget was too big. You should have cut out more things. That's number one. Number two, some people think that the timing of your public disclosure of the budget may have affected the morale of the team ahead of the Chad game, because for players to learn about some, for example, the bonus was slashed from 10K to 5K. a few hours to the game, some people felt it could have affected motivation. But then they're also saying that the budget itself is too big and that you should have taken off more things. So let's deal with that one first. Only 3 major items were reduced. Bonuses for management committee members reduced, bonuses of players slashed, and then you cut fuel by I think $5,000 or something. Almost everything else was kept. Some people feel that that's too generous.
Well, I must say that there's a maxim that is out there. Sometimes you don't change things too significantly midway. When you overdo it, it can also create a problem for you. So government was minded that some expenditure heads as far as the management of our national teams should not be there. And that conversation we will continue to have. And we will have even a bigger conversation after these qualifying phases. And we've made the FA aware of this, and we are clear in our mind that after the qualification stage, we will have to sit and look at a number of things that will have to change. It looked much more to me that people were not so much interested at the time of negotiating some of these things. But that is not the case now. At the level of the presidency, there's a lot of interest. And at the level of the minister, there's a lot of interest in how we spend our monies. I won't begrudge those who say that they feel some other areas needed to be cut. There are some who even feel that we shouldn't fly these players on business class ticket. We should do economy. That I have defended because it's quite tough when you are involved in that industry. Look, some players will play at the club level. Maybe they will play Saturday, knocked and have some injuries even. Then and you expect them to fly the same evening or sometimes the next morning in economy to fold their legs. When you expect some of them immediately they land at the airport, they are moving straight to the training pitch because you have very limited time.
So that we agree. That no, but still a lot of items there.
So there are a lot of items. Two, they are going into an area where you don't have a direct maybe flights from your country going there.
So charter flight.
So you have to charter
per diem.
So when you are chartering a flight, you don't determine how much it will cost. It's a standard level that you have to pay. Per diems have been negotiated and agreed. And these per diems, or what was described in the Justice Jamefe Commission report as night inconvenience allowance or something, is so properly captured and laid in there. And they have even looked at why should go to the junior side, why should go to the senior side, and that recommended figure in the Justice Jamefe Commission of $150 for the players is what has been kept over this period. So I don't think that per diem to the players is wrong. But in that same recommendation, per diem for officials was also supposed to be 150. But that has jumped now to 200. And I have a problem with that. And I think that we would have to look into that. The per diems must be equal for all of them. Since they are all going the same time, staying in the same environment, the same hotel, eating from the same space and returning from the same time, I think that per diem must be equal. So in future negotiations with per diems, we would have to look to equal those things. You talked about timing.
The timing of the release.
You can only release something that is approved. There are budgeting processes. The usual process is that the FA presents the estimates to you, the minister, or the ministry. You look at it, and you see areas that should be taken off. If they have to be taken off, then you recommend and submit to the office of the president. The office of the president then now sits and look at it and give a final. They may disagree with your proposition. They may even think that your proposition is not strong enough. So let's further cut. And And then that is where you have a budget. And once you have it, that is the only time you can put it out there. Again, I had already indicated to the whole country and the world when we had our match against Chad and Madagascar in March that the next games, they will receive the budget before the games.
So
and it's not going to be. So everybody knew that this was going to happen. So when they haven't received it, they should know that every other day before the game is a possible day of what? Releasing the budget. And so the issue of timing doesn't even sit in here. Okay. Two, the players did not suffer any reduction. Indeed, if I did anything, I rather enhanced.
Really?
Yes.
But I thought you reduced their players' bonus from 10,000 to 5,000.
Well, their bonus is still 10,000. The bonus has not been reduced. What we told the FA was that we didn't see why we should be paying them 10,000 as bonus. And they made us aware that even the 10,000 is not paid at a go. And that they pay only half. And it is only when they qualify for the tournament that the remainder is paid, because at that time you'll be receiving some revenue.
But it still costs to the state.
It still costs to the state. So I'm coming. Why you saw the cut? So we told them, because Finance Ministry releases funds based on what is approved, we don't think that what will not be spent now should be a budget, should be part of the budget. So, for example, if you put there that 10,000 players will receive 10,000, and you multiply that by 26, and you put the total figure there, the coach will receive this, you put the figure there, this one will receive, you put the 100% figure there, and that 100% figures get approved. The letter that will go to Finance Ministry to release money will be 100% of those bonuses. The Finance Minister doesn't sit at the negotiation table, so he will release based on what? The letter, approval letter from the office of the president. So he releases to you, the Minister for Sports and Recreation, 10,000 per player, when in actual sense you have approval only to spend 5,000. What happens to the remaining 5,000? If care is not taken, ways are found to spend that money on other things other than what it is meant for. So President Mohammed's government says that in order to cut off possible areas of corruption, only present what is due now.
I see.
But
so when they qualify, we look for the money.
When we look for the money. So in this case, as we prepare for the 2026 budget, we will factor in all the wins in 2024, in 2025.
Okay.
And make sure that you pay the remainder of what was not paid them. But you don't put 100% of those now, because when the money gets released, sometimes ministries don't return monies to the...
Okay. So just final point here, then we move to something else. You cancelled bonuses for management committee members.
Yes.
But bonuses for players, head coach, assistant coaches, team officials, team doctor, physio, video analyst, psychologist, and kit officials, and all of those guys are still intact.
Yes.
And they will take their 10,000, just that you just pay the part now.
Yep.
But is that justified?
Well,
because I don't know, but I don't know whether, for example, England, do they pay their national kitman a bonus for a match win? Do they pay their physio a bonus for winning? Yes, they beat Serbia 5-0. World Cup qualifiers. Will England, who have much more money than we do, pay all these people these amounts of money to play for their national team?
Bernard, I have asked that question myself. Well, what I was told and what I have found is that all these other officers, aside the coach and then the assistant coaches, are not on salary. I have thought that, well, so it's more like they are paid based on performance. So in other words, instead of paying them salary every month, they are not on salary. So the kids officer, the masseur, the physician, the physiotherapist, the psychologist, the video analyst, all of them are not on salary. So they are not paid every month.
But some of these people are permanent employees of the GFA. Some of the people in this
of clubs.
Sorry,
They are permanent employees of clubs.
Of clubs.
Who are assigned.
So that don't their clubs pay them?
Well, if their clubs are paying them, that we will have to find out. Their
You
clubs
have to.
now, we'll find
Because-
out. But then what it is?
$8,000 is not
No, but
teaching you.
Bernard, what it is that they are not on salary. As far as the national team management is concerned, they are not on salary. So this is what they earn. Some may argue that, well, what about maybe other category of technical person who are already on salary? Why should they be paid this amount of what? Bonuses. Already these have been negotiated before this government assumed responsibility. Don't forget that we had 10 games to play to qualify. Some had been
I
played
see, but it's not everything.
already.
It's not everything you inherited from.
Well, that
previous
is why-
government
that
you
is-
kept. There are
that
some
is-
things you've removed.
That is why, that's why we have
You have
we've
removed
removed
the chief justice. So you have removed. So it's not everything inherited that you remove. So
I am-
that one they won't even. If something has been government is a continuum, but there are some things you inherit that you don't keep.
Bernard, the removal of the chief justice is a constitutional.
No problem. I'm just saying that the argument that you've.
that
I
is
agree.
enshrined in the
No, I'm saying
constitution, and that those due processes were
But
followed.
it's not every
this
project-
one also. I'm not saying that because we came to meet. We didn't leave everything there. I've just told you some. If I gave you documentation, you observe that in the past, whatever the FA brought as estimates was what was approved by government to be released. They did nothing to it.
Yeah, you've done something, but pussy, you should do more.
I agree that, and I'm
Do
telling
more.
them that we will do more.
Good. Last question.
That
on this.
we will do the more when we sit down with everybody.
Do you have the? Okay, let me read the direct question. Why has the minister not compelled the FA to bring out the budget from the Unity Cup? The minister was actually at the games. This is a directive from the Justice Jamefe Commission. Direct question.
Well, I have engaged the FA. The last engagement I had with the FA president was that even the organizers of the Unity Cup have not paid what is due the national team. So we even are having a conversation whether the FAs of the various teams cannot come together to organize the Unity Games, considering the interest that it develops.
This is the Ghana, Nigeria,
Ghana, Nigeria,
TNT and Jamaica.
TNT and then Jamaica. If we couldn't come together and organize it, so that the revenue that will come out of it is then now shared. If you would organize a competition, we will go and paying what is due us now becomes an issue.
But you don't have the budget for that cup still.
No, I have a budget.
You have the budget.
Yeah, I have a budget.
I
They
see.
presented it to me. So I'm waiting to find out when the organizers will pay the participation, Ghana's Black Stars participation fee.
Let's deal with infrastructure. Godfrey, you have a lot on infrastructure.
I have a lot of infrastructure questions, but let's stay on line with something a bit. So clarify this for me. Is the national team coach an employee of the ministry or an employee of the Ghana Football Association?
Well, so he's paid by government. So indirectly, I would say he should be an employee of the ministry because the national teams belong to the state.
Okay.
And we have given the national teams to the FA to manage for us. So they normally are tasked to hunt for these technical persons to help us deliver the reason for which we have these national teams. But ultimately, the ministry would have to be in the known. And so the ministry, if you look at the contract that is done, the ministry official witness the contract that is normally signed. So I must say that the ministry is involved. It's not an FA alone thing, but we pay him.
Okay. And does the interest go beyond just the pay to his technical reports? Does the ministry sit in on those things? Do you have a say?
Well,
Or you just leave that to the FA?
the ministry directly don't sit in, but since it's a national team and you are interested in the performance of the national team because you are the one that is investing
Correct.
the money that is paid this coach, the money that is spent on the players, it's the taxpayers' money. So you have a direct interest per the arrangement of, say, sometimes FIFA and then the federation regulations, they talked about interference and all those kind of things. But you are spending, when it comes to national teams, maybe the leagues that they organized, you have limited intervention in that case. What House of Folk, to the extent that they are not doing anything against the national constitution and national laws, you have very limited right over clubs. And so their league and the rest, once it doesn't resort to violence, criminal activity, death to persons, and so on and so forth, they run their things.
Okay.
But even on that, this time around, government have decided to mobilize resources to support the league. So we are interested in what happens. And that is why we are interested in the governance structure.
For the leagues.
For the clubs.
Stay with the coach.
So we are interested in what the coach does, his performance and everything. We are interested.
Are you impressed
with what you've seen so far?
You've seen so far of the coach?
Well,
as a ministry, not personally as a minister.
Let me tell you that there are national teams that today, after Game 8, are very comfortable that they are going to the World Cup. As I sit here, very soon AFCON will start in Morocco. Is Ghana going to be there? No.
We watch on TV.
We watch on TV.
Yeah, you and I.
We have not qualified for the World Cup yet. We still need a win and a minimum draw to comfortably say that as far as our group is concerned, nobody can upstage or overtake us. Even if they score 1,000 goals, even if they score 1,000 goals. So we are not sitting in a comfortable space at all. So if I tell you that I am impressed, then it means that I don't know my job. I am not. There's a lot of room for improvement. And when you meet the coach himself, he tells you that he feels he got this one, not he takes blame for this, he takes blame for that. He's identified this. But, well, people may ask, for how long will you continue to be doing
post-factor rationalization?
For how long? Because you sometimes sit on tenterhooks.
Yeah.
The last game like this,
Charlie,
it was hot for you.
It was very hot.
Couldn't sleep.
I have to be getting up. I got up like 3 times. I got up like 3 times.
The reason why I ask this is, and you've indicated to us since you are the major employer of the coach, and your satisfaction or otherwise of the coach's performance is key. Are there opportunities for you to reach out to the FA and say, I am interested in a change? Is that something the FA considers, or is that something that is within your purview?
As
or
minister,
it is the FA that rather has to make that call?
Thank you.
For you?
No, it's open. It's both way.
Okay.
It's both way. The FA can call. You can also engage the FA
Correct.
and initiate a conversation around that. Except that at the end of the day, it's always good for all of you to move along. So the FA should be able to convince the ministry why a change. The ministry should be able to convince the FA why the change, so that we are moving together. Because in matters like this, if you don't handle it well, it can become negative.
But as the ministry have independent technical assessors of the coach's performance, because Godfrey was asking, the FA, of course, they have their things, but I'm sure they are directors in the ministry who are technical. Can they come and say, based on our report, we think we need a different type of coach?
Well, what it is that the ministry do not have a standing technical assessors.
Okay.
We do not have that. But we do have people that, for example, as a minister, you depend on, you rely on to be able to help you in telling you what they think is not good as far as the entire team is concerned, not just the coach.
Yes.
Sometimes they even tell you, the playing body, that they feel that we must hunt for maybe more of these wingers, or more of strikers, or more of this. So that is why you have some wondering. For example, there are some who have questioned why the general captain, or what is his the general captain, Andre, who was one of the top scorers, was left out of the team at the time. You are weak when it comes to converting balls into goals. So you have people who assess and give you that information so that it will enable you to also be able to engage the FA. But not like
you helped us. You've told us that you have a role and a say, and you're also not impressed so far. So I think that is enough for now.
Yeah, let's
deal with the stadium.
Let me move to infrastructure. You did a tour to inspect your infrastructure under the NSCA's ambit.
Yeah.
What is your assessment of the current state of sporting infrastructure?
Well, it's not good.
You can include the National Resource Centers for me.
It's not good. It's not good. Even for what it is that we celebrated as we have built AstroTurfs, we've done this, we've done that. You realize what the players told us when they went to N'Djamena. One of the things was that they say the pitch is as hard as concrete. What we have around the country as sports AstroTurfs is even harder than what they played on, and then they were. So you can imagine what it is we are doing for the development of our younger ones. If these professionals are complaining so much, then the young ones with even the younger softer, exactly.
Issues.
Do you know what the damage we are doing to them? The damage we are doing to their future, playing on those type of infrastructure. So one, I'm not impressed with the availability of infrastructure, and it's even worse what is available, what we have done. We have just done them in the name of projects without factoring what that project is intended to achieve. So it's a worrying situation, and we are analyzing to see how we can cure some of those challenging situations. Two, Category 2 stadia. We need a lot more. Not that we do not have them located at strategic places, they already are, but poor maintenance. For example, we are so good. We have the Accra Sports Stadium, or Enijam Sports Stadium is there. We have the University of Ghana Stadium is there. We have Babayara in Kumasi is good. We have Aliu Mahama in Tamale.
It's not
there.
good.
No, I'm talking about the
facilities.
The facility
Okay.
is good. We have Cape Coast is good. We have Esipon, it's good. We have the TN Park at Takwa is good. If you have 7 of these big facilities, if you keep them well, that is enough for a country like Ghana at that stage. So what you need now is to develop other smaller ones, not with big seating capacity. Smaller, it could be even 3,000, 5,000 with other facilities in there with proper pitches. Don't aim at the aesthetics, but have a good pitch with proper drainage so that when it rains, water doesn't stay on the pitch.
The stadiums you've mentioned, does any of them meet the criteria you just described?
No.
Not even Accra?
Not even Accra.
So what are you going to do about that?
So that's what we are working on. For some of them that have this good, either the security zone is not correct. Like take a place like Babayara. The security zone should not, for any reason, fans should not have access to the security zone. But if you take Babayara, where we describe as the security zone, where the players' bus will enter for them to move into the dressing room before appearing on the pitch, fans can see the bus and they can see the players as they step out. So you need to make sure that you roof that space so that fans cannot have access, cannot see through. There are a couple of other things that needs to be done to bring that one to a category that CAF or FIFA will not have any issue.
You want to build a new one?
Well, we are looking to having a new stadium of that size around our Boteman space. Because we want to elevate that whole place to like a sports city, sports village,
correct,
where international clubs like they are doing now in Morocco and the rest can come and even camp and train there. So we add accommodation, we add everything. So in future, even when your Black Stars come, you will not see on our budget line accommodation anymore. But that we are working on a PPP arrangement.
How long? What kind of time frame are you working with? Is this something you can do in this term, this Mohammed's first term?
It's doable. It's doable.
What capacity stadium are we looking at?
We want to do a minimum of 50,000
in the Boteman.
In the Boteman enclave.
50,000. You can finish it before 2028.
We should be able to.
Which brings me to you mentioned Boteman. Boteman and its attendant facilities, including University of Ghana, everything, cost us $195 million, Minister.
Yeah.
From the previous admin, of course. You've gone there, you've sat down, you've looked at those line items, you've inspected the facilities. Do they look like $195 million?
I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. But that is what it is. Whilst we are looking into that expenditure, we must also begin to see what we can do to make what has been put in that place maximize the benefit from that space. I'm not impressed about it. We are equally also going to have, His Excellency the President has made it very clear that the 6 new regions will need to also have some basic high-level sports infrastructure, minimal stadium, not very big ones. So the 6 new regions that do not have would also be getting some, and that will be captured in the 2026 budget for commencement. So we intend to invest in sports heavily, and not just football.
Yes,
we want to make sure that along these pitches for football are
tracks,
other tracks. There are multi-purpose parks where you can play basketball, you can play volleyball, you can play handball, you can play tennis on it. So that same space, you can do all this. And we are also encouraging community. You see, in Ghana, we don't like community spirit is not within us. Everybody wants his individual thing in his home. And sometimes you do it, and after some time you are not able to maintain it. If we had created that space, and community has a space, and there's a community pool, there's a community basketball court, there's a community tennis court, there's a community sitting area, the community will continue to contribute to maintain it forever. So there will be communal life around that space. What we want is that Kofi Adams wants his own swimming pool. He wants his own small basketball court. He wants his own tennis court in his home. So he takes a huge land alone. Another person takes. And the entire community of about maybe 5,000 or more residents, there's no space for a community park. We need to change such attitude so that even if government or you encourage the corporate community to make funds available for such things, you would have space to be able to do.
Two quick questions. That brings me to the NSA, the National Sports Authority, because they are responsible for some of these things, including the sports development officers. The concerns have been the NSA for a long time has not been fit for purpose. If you look at the facilities that you mentioned, for instance, that they supervise, they are in poor shape. The other sporting developments that are supposed to happen in other communities are also not happening. And all that is the responsibility of the National Sports Authority, if I'm not mistaken. So are you taking a deeper look at the National Sports Authority? And then my second question, because we also have a long list of questions from our listeners that I want to present to you, is have you had a conversation with the Ghana Education Service? Because sports and education is one. And a lot of the development for sports at the national level happens at the school level. School sports is currently non-existent as it is in Ghana.
Yeah.
I was disappointed you didn't show up at the Kumasi Intako and Superzo, which is the biggest in the country. They say you were busy. What are you doing about the school sports? That's linked,
which seems to be dying.
It's dying.
So NSA and the school sports.
So the school sports is one key area that His Excellency the President have directed us to pay a lot of attention to. If you remember in his State of the Nation address, he actually called that we should be establishing a school sports authority that will be responsible for school sports right from the basic level all the way to the university, so that it doesn't become like, because it's handled by GES at the lower level, when there is no money, it is thrown off. When there is no time, it is thrown off. The thinking of His Excellency is that if we establish an authority, or for the beginning, a secretariat responsible for that, they will look for funding, they will look for the time, and to make sure that the purpose for which they exist is happening.
Okay.
Because in GES, they consider it as extracurricular. So they feel like they have their focus. So this is something they are doing as an addition. So if they don't have time, what is an addition? We can leave it. If we don't have money, what is an addition? We can leave. And the burden is now on MPs. So if you don't have an MP who loves sports and understands sports, and to make some money available for that, it is completely off. And if they do one sport this year, next year that sport will not be done. It's another one that will be done. On the issue of me, I love athletics. I would have wished to be there, but I'm just one minister. And if you have other responsibility, you cannot. So you only must ask some people to represent you. But we really want to invest heavily in school sports. Luckily for me, the education minister himself is someone who loves sports. Not just loves sports, but he practices it.
He's a soccer player.
He's a soccer person. He has a team also.
Yeah.
He plays and he has a team. So he really loves sports. So I'm so lucky to have an education minister who loves sports. So we put in our heads together to make sure that this school sports thing work very, very well.
Is there a sports development master plan to grow the industry? You mentioned PPP for the stadium, but some people are saying we need to make sports more investable. Do you have any ideas around how you're going to attract more financing to do all the things that we've been discussing?
That is what we are doing now. Last week, I had engagement with ambassadors and high commissioners, those who were commissioned, and the Foreign Affairs Ministry created opportunity for us. And we presented what it is, that where we are aiming at, the issues of even academies, the issues of fitness centers, the issues of sports complexes, the issue of media, and all those sectors that are available and open for investment and PPP arrangement. Just so to let these ambassadors and high commissioners be aware of what it is. So as they move into their various countries, they will be looking out for some of these situations for us. So we are not leaving any stone unturned at all.
All right,
And
Caleb, read some comments for us. Lots of questions have come in.
So Courage from Kofi wants to know what your plans are concerning the Ghana Premier League in terms of making it more attractive, developing players for success, and then also the quality of experience that fans will get in terms of safety and the facilities, and also the measures you're putting in place to restore order at the GFA and strengthen visibility.
Oh, that's a big
of
question.
the Sports Authority.
That's a long question.
Maybe you can take that.
Yeah.
One, no, the
Take a
Ghana
few-
Premier League,
Yes, so Premier League.
Just continue.
Read the next one.
Right. The next one says we should introduce losing bonus. When the team loses, they lose some of the amounts they would have earned in the winning bonus. Okay. Please ask the sports minister what his plans are for developing combat sports in Ghana. Combat sports. Good morning, Bernard. Kindly ask the minister if it's not possible for the Auditor General to scrutinize GFA budget before it gets to him. We need a law like that. Jay from Tema. Please, can you ask the sports minister why his ministry is still paying players and the management in dollars after the finance minister, the BOG, has made it clear that businesses are going to transact in cedis.
All right. So maybe you should deal with that.
So-
Yeah.
So let me start with the last one. Why we pay players in dollars? We don't pay the players in dollars. We pay them in cedis. The only time they earn dollars is when they are playing away, because their per diem is what is intended for you to spend there. So that one you are paid on tabletop and you sign. So that's the only time they get paid in dollars. Otherwise, they are paid the CD equivalent of the figure quoted in dollar terms. So no player is paid in dollars. Combat sports, we are working very hard to develop combat sports, and that was the reason why when the Nigerian boxer even passed on, we have to put in place a committee to look into that. The committee presented its report. I met with NSA and I gave them directives as to what to do, and I think they are in the process. Just this week, I signed a letter asking the chief director to convene a meeting between the ministry and the NSA to brief us on how far they have gone with, for example, the area of boxing. We are looking into the other combat sports also and seeing what we can do to them. We want them to extend beyond Accra. We want them to extend into the regions to get to the northern part of the country, the middle part, and to the southeastern part also of the country. It's not just around Accra here. So I've also asked the NSA Director General that he has development officers for some of these combat sports who are supposed to be in the regions.
All right.
I have been told that some of them are settled in Accra here and they only go there to do data capture and then they come back. So you should check on that and make sure that these development officers stay in the region to develop these sports in the region. Ghana Premier League. Well, I just talked about it, that this year's league that will be launched on Friday at the Accra Sports Stadium, we will be seeing some level of improvement in terms of broadcasting, in terms of security, management members, the technical teams, and even the players themselves will sign on to good behavior and to make sure that at least they do what is right. If your stadia facility is not up to standard, it cannot be used for games. We are better off playing at fewer league centers than opening up everywhere and people taking advantage and creating all manner of problems. So I believe that this year's Premier League will see some level of attraction.
Is the money ready?
For
the broadcast rights money, the 18 million, is it ready?
Oh, don't worry about that.
We can't, you don't always wait. What's the, we shouldn't worry.
Well,
is the money ready?
Don't worry about it. Why, do you have a club?
I have a club.
You have a club.
Yes, is the money ready?
So go and check at the club level.
There are another round of questions.
Let's go.
Why aren't we decentralizing sports development with the ministry focused on policy formulation? That's a good question to you. Another question. Why does the sports ministry submit the Black Stars budget to the office of the president for approval? Doesn't the ministry run its own budget? So that's question 2. Question 3. When is the Bolgatanga Sports Stadium, which started over 40 years ago, going to be put into the budget and finished? So that's question number 3, Caleb.
And
I thought I would deal out. There was one that earlier asked that why don't you ask the Auditor General to look into the budget before? Well, the Auditor General comes in only after expenditure, not before expenditure. So they cannot come in at that stage. Why do we submit the budget to the president? Because when it comes to the national teams, the ministry is not given a provision directly to be able to be spending on that. So always you have to go for approvals. For example, even when we were at tournament for the women's AFCON, we were seeking approval stage by stage. So the group stage, you were not even given the bulk money for the entire tournament from group stage to maybe if you get to the finals. So group stage, you get that approval, you go. If you qualify from the group stage to the next stage, you go for. So we kept asking for approval at various stages. That's how we manage. Well, trying to fight corruption and the rest comes with its own challenges, and that is what His Excellency thinks that we should go about it, so we can engender trust and confidence of the people to be willing to put in their money to support sports. Right. You asked another question.
Decentralization of the sports ministry.
Yes, that's part
of sports development. The ministry focus on policy formulation.
The ministry is focused on policy. The National Sports Authority is supposed to be decentralized to the district level. So they have district sports development officers and what have you. These are not functioning fully effectively in some of the districts. And it's an area we are looking into improving.
Right. We have a few minutes for some questions.
Yes,
so
point number 2 from this question. Ket Yaya from Tumusesala East Municipality. Ket and his administration have monetized football, making developing talents expensive at the amateur level. What's your administration doing to subsidize the cost of developing football talents at the basic level of football, specifically Division 2 and 3, as is done in other jurisdictions where government provide infrastructure at the basic level through community recreational centers with multi-sport facilities?
So one is also that these clubs at this level, Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, must also and coaches must also improve their management styles. I say so because I'm also a member of parliament, and I know what it is that sometimes we go through, even when you are trying to tell them to do certain things and do them right, to make it easier for you to be able to support them. Government is willing to support talent development, and soon we'll be launching in partnership with a private interest persons constituency sports development program also, and it will impact on some of these category of work persons, the codes, the Division 2s, the Division 3s especially. Mostly when they get to Division 1, they are almost as good as the premier level, and they can bet the Division 3s and then 2s and the codes will look into supporting.
Let me just, the reason why I'm saying this is important, because this is where all your talents comes from. And honorable, to be honest, there is zero infrastructure. Last year, every coast team received one football.
One football from the state.
Now, not from the state, from the FA. These are teams that are run by, these are not run by rich people. These are run by community members who are just interested in football, who are looking after 80 kids. Now, where I come from, in Ablekuma West, in the Ablekuma West district, there are 80 coast teams sharing 3 pitches.
80 coast teams
sharing 3 pitches. Honorable, how is that development? The pitches are not available.
Wow.
You are right. You know, I've not just visited the premiership centers. If you remember, there was one time the MTN FA competition was ongoing in Takwa. I chose to visit a Division 2 game in Tema.
Yes.
Because I want to be present and to know the real challenges
on
that come on the ground. So we are particularly interested in their development, and we will see. Funding has always been a challenge, and that is why I want big voices like yours, Bernard, Akoto, Godfred Akoto, all of you, the big voices, Caleb, all of you, put your voices in to draw investment in sports.
I see.
Because it's a big area. Without investment, we cannot grow it. You are here crying about schools. We need to invest in them. It takes that support. Government alone cannot do it. We need all on board, including, even if it is a community interesting, you must be transparent. That is the only time even your community people will be interested in putting their money into what they see as being handled in a transparent manner for the good of all of them and for their children.
Clarify this for me. Has your ministry halted the AstroTurf projects?
Yes, for now we've halted the AstroTurf. Yes, all of them. If anybody is doing anything, then the person is doing it on his own. But what government directly have an interest in that were being awarded from national level and the rest, especially the last minute ones that were done, about some 48 in 2024 around December. We said no, they should hold on it, because we need to improve. Because what has been done, I will not allow my kid to go and play ball on those things. So why should I let it go ahead?
Let me end with a final question.
Okay, thank you.
What is the most important thing Kofi Adams wants to be remembered for after after the term? Because we've spoken about many things: development of other sports, athletics, boxing, and all of that. Are you clear in your mind the most important thing you want to change about Ghana sports?
Well, I want to see a consistent investment in sports and sports development. Because it is only out of that you can have a stream of talents that will grow.
So investment from what to what? We need targets, we need amounts. It's not like I want something to hold me by.
Well, you know that is zero as we speak now. Nothing is going. Godfrey just told you that one ball was what was sent to the coach. So it is zero. So I want us to have a structured sports fund.
A structured sports
fund that will have an independent board running it, not at the dictate of the minister. Oh, I want this to be the no.
A
We don't
structured
want
sports
a
fund.
structured
So
sports
what are you
fund.
putting in place to achieve this?
So, for example, the law that we will be passing
Yeah.
to support this sports fund will be a law that will put people who are the best in the country in running it. We want to take out the political, in quote, and partisan interference as far as management of some of these funds is concerned. So it can see a good implementation that will bring about development right from the grassroots to the elite level.
We'll leave it here for now. Thank you, Kofi Adams. Before you go, you have to say good morning to your constituents in Boem. You
Yes.
are the only minister from the OT region, and you are MP for Boem. So before you go, you say this.
I want to thank them for the support they continue to give me. It is their support that has brought me this far as my current political journey.
Do they have
is
a stadium
concerned.
in that region, by the way?
Oh, no, we don't have a stadium, so it will be one of the regions that will benefit. from
Sheesh.
the Mohammed. No, it's
Yeah,
one
but
of the 6 new
of
regions.
course.
Six new
No, it's
Yeah,
one of
the
the
president
6
already
new
promised,
regions.
yeah.
Please, we need our key fit.
No,
Start from
it's
there.
one of
We need
the
our
6
park in
Don't-
Dazuma.
don't mind
It's
it.
one of the 6 new regions.
Give us a park in
No,
Dazuma.
I'm saying that it's one of the 6 new regions. So there will be a
If you
stadium.
don't even do it, they will chase you out. All right, so that was Kofi Adams, the Minister of Sports. Obviously, we can't ask all the questions. We have more when we come back. Plus, some exciting interview on a new financing model that will help you save money and improve your personal wealth. City Breakfast Show is airborne. Stay with us.